Welcome viewers to our regular program, Eyewitness. As you are aware by now, each week we have a conversation with Nigerians who have contributed immensely to promoting the public good, to advancing the cause of society rather than the interest of individuals. Our objective in this program has always been to make the point that there are so many Nigerians who are not focused on just making money for themselves, on self-aggrandizement, who are not involved in corruption, but who are always thinking and acting about the good of society. Today, our theme for the conversation is the marginalization of women in northern Nigeria. And we have with us an advocate who has been working for the last 2 decades on how to promote inclusiveness of women and other marginalized groups in social, political, and economic processes in the country. Hajia Halima Ben Umar, you are welcome to the program.
Thank you so much. Good to be here.
It's a pleasure to have you. And as usual in this program, we start from your background.
Okay.
Where are you coming from? Primary school, secondary school?
Okay, like I said, my name is Halima Ben Umar. I went to Gidan Makama Primary School, which is very close to the Emir's Palace in Kano. And then I went to Shekara Boarding Primary School. Then it was also Boarding Primary School. And then from there, I went to Dala Government Girls College. From Dala Government Girls College, after I finished, I started with, I went to CAS. But then my husband says he doesn't want anything apart from teaching. So I was like, but I don't want to be a teacher. I don't think I'm born to be a teacher because I know how teaching is even from primary to secondary school. So my late dad, when I went complaining, I was even crying, he said, look, in life, if you have a partner, you know he says what he wants. Now, if he is saying he wants you to be a teacher, accept it. But then keep praying and be as best partner as you can. He will change. And that is exactly what happened. And so we went to the US. We spent 3 years in the US. I did a lot of work and some businesses. Then coming back home, I went back to school. But this time I went to School of Technology, where I studied Arts and Design diploma. And then with the diploma result, I started to work in NADA, Kano State Agricultural and Rural Development Authority. And then while I was there, and this is what also took my interest to really focus on gender, to focus on women. In the team, I was the only female. And so I have a lot of marginalization. They go out to work without involving me. Sometimes they will just run around the corner to leave. So I said to my husband, let me just go back to school instead of being redundant in the office. So I went back to BUK, where I had my first degree in mass communication. And coming back, I started to work. I started broadcasting. I started producing programs, agricultural programs, particularly for women. And then from there, I got a job with Johns Hopkins University Center for Communication Program under the USAID-funded project of women political participation and emancipation. So that is where I've started. And so with the background in my office, and then with the work I started to do with Johns Hopkins, that's what really gave me more, I was really empowered, and I know. And you have your parents, you have your husband, you say this, they said, yeah, do it. So with that support, because if I didn't have that support, I wouldn't be where I am today. So I have the support to do it because this is what you're looking for. I truly believe that women have been marginalized over the years, and even there are changes, it's just minor changes, but we are still working on it. We are still talking, even though we have a lot of criticism, but that didn't stop us from doing what we felt it is right. And so this is where we are today.
When you were in primary, secondary school, did you ever think your career will focus on the question of marginalization of women?
No. I have never. All I know I wanted to do was to become a journalist, even from primary school. Because sometimes, as kids, you hold a bottle or anything and you pretend it's a microphone and you sing, you even do news. This is so, it's something that I grew up, really wanted to do. But with the issue of teaching, I've almost forgotten about that until when I went back to do my mass communication. Even after doing the mass communication, I did a little bit of work with Radio Kanu. I do read news for them and I do some programs. And then in NADA where I work in the media section. So even in NADA, I work more with women because even at that level, they are the marginalized group, even though they are women farmers. But people hardly recognize their efforts in farming because they farm themselves and they have other people to help them. But you hardly hear of it. But we made sure we have a newsletter. I made sure everything that women does, it's in the newsletter so that people will know that women are really trying.
Okay, that's a very fascinating history and background. Now, when we take the theme of interest to you, the marginalization of women in northern Nigeria, many people argue that women are not marginalized. They simply play a different role from men, and that the role for men is different from the role for women. Why do you think women in northern Nigeria are marginalized?
Now, for so many reasons. Let's look at the political participation. Now we have a new era where educated women are coming out. Initially they say they are this woman, they are this, they are that. Now the educated women, the qualified women, the trusted women are coming out to vie for political offices. Now, even with that, when it comes to politics, women are really marginalized. For instance, if you come to political parties, now in Kano, luckily for this time around, we have some women for the first time. We have some women that are vying for State House of Assembly. They have won the primaries. And then we have someone that is going to the National Assembly, God's willing. And we promise whatever it takes, we'll support her because she's very credible and she's intelligent, she's well educated, both in Islamic and Western education. So, and we felt she can do it. And that was why we even supported her to go for the position. Now, apart from that, if you look at all the political parties in Kano, we don't have women. The smaller parties that do not necessarily have all the structures in the LGs are the ones that are pushing for women. And even them, they know the women will not win, and that was why they are won. Now, if you look at the participation of women, if women can really vote, they can really vote. A woman, whichever party she comes from, she will win. But then we have the issue of divide and rule. We have the issue of people are saying with the poverty in the country, you give people money, you give women, you give them money, and you persuade them to vote buying. So this is something that is really bringing down women. So a lot of things happened that when you talk, they will say, where are you talking? You're supposed to be at home. So we are supposed to be at home. We are supposed to do the cook. We are supposed to cook. We are supposed to wash the plates. We are supposed to, these are cultural things that they are being imposed on us. So it's not like it's religion. So it's culture. It's the society that made us do these things. So if you want to work, now even in the newsroom, for a woman, you have to do double than the man. Wherever a woman is, if we are working, wherever we're working, you try to do more than the man. That is when you will be appreciated just a little bit. They'll say, oh, okay, well done, you're doing well. But apart from that, and that is it. And then if you come to education, we have been pushing for the girl child education. Thank God Kano State government is working on the girl child education. If you go to primary schools, then you can count 30 boys and maybe 5, 6 girls, even when we are growing up. So this thing started not today, but for a long time when we have been marginalized. And people are talking about, if you begin to talk, people are saying, okay, they have come again, they are talking about equality. And we are saying, we are talking about equity. Yes, equality, yes, in terms of education, in terms of healthcare. I'm expected to be given an opportunity, just like the boy or the man, an opportunity to explore, to get educated, to work in a place where I felt I can add value to that, not just to say, oh, she's a woman. No, we should be given a equal level playing ground for us to also show we can do it. And many women have shown they can do it. But still, that ego of the men. Now, for instance, if you go to Kano State House of Assembly, the chairman of the House Committee on Women is a man. So how would he, for God's sake, know women's issue? How can he tackle women issues? Just what he had.
How many women are in the House of Assembly?
None. None.
So there's no woman to appoint to chair the committee.
No, but at least in the staffing they have, they could employ women.
Yes.
They could employ women to do it, either to serve as secretary of the House Committee on Women, So there are so many things that can be done. So all we are saying is, someone was telling me, one doctor was telling me, Haji Alima, you have to fight to get it. You have to take it away from the men. I say, no, this is not the issue of fighting. I mean, whatever it is, we need men as partners. For instance, if I said I will fight, it means I will fight my husband. I will fight my children. I will fight my dad. So it's not about fighting, because it will come back to you. No, but the issue is partnership, getting support. Because if we are getting support, if you look at women that are coming out like me, they have the support of the husband. They have the support of the parents. And in some cases, the support of people, because for me, when I was working in development work, I honestly got support even from USAID project and DFID project. Because if I didn't get the support, probably I wouldn't be here. Even if my parents are giving me all the support, you just need a pathway, to go through. So the issue of women will keep talking until when we are old enough. For me, I will keep talking until when I am old enough. That's God's willing. If God spared my life, I will keep talking until when I can't even come out of my house if I'm still alive.
Don't stop talking.
I will. I can't even stop talking, Dr. Prof. Even if I want to, I can't stop talking. Because it's something that if you talk, you give others that are coming up. You give them. You empower them. Many people, we mentored so many young people, and they are now in positions, not political positions, but positions that they are lucky to get anyway. And so we'll keep mentoring. You mentor people you meet in your project, you mentor your own children, so this is something that we'll continue to do, and we'll continue to push. We have a program, and a religious leader was abusing us, who even gave us the audacity to sit and discuss women. And we didn't answer back, but I know I have been married since 1979. Now, and I said to someone, if I don't have that right to sit and discuss marriage issues and to discuss about the marginalization of women, tell me who will? A marriage of 1979. I mean, if I'm married for just 3 months, if I'm married for 3 months, if a woman is married for 3 months, she knows what she's going through. She knows the marginalization. She knows where she's been placed in. So even if it's just 3 months, Someone was telling me that if my husband eats, I have to wash even the spoon. I cannot have a house help, to help. That I will be the one to wash the plate. I said, I agree to cook. If that will give me, for my husband, I'm getting all the support. I can cook and even feed him. But for you to tell me that even the plate he eats, even the spoon, I have to wash it, not my house help. So this one, which can marginalize, which can muala is this one, So at some point, that is why some women are aggressive, because they don't have the patience to sit, and we need to be patient. Nigeria is moving. Issue of women is moving. But for me, I always say, unless we have the affirmative action, unless we have the bill passed, that is when we will be given the opportunity, because whether people like it or not, once that bill is passed, we'll push for the implementation, and that is when we'll have, we're even going for 20, 30%. If you check in Rwanda, they are even more than 50%.
Yes.
So the little we have in Nigeria, we can see that at least is from LGA level to the national level. And you know, research have shown that where women are in decision-making positions, corruption is even less. It's been cut off by more than 50%. And the men do not like women to be there, because I'm not saying women don't steal. We do, but very few of women do, because of the marginalization, the issues that women are going through. We don't want scandal. You don't want your name to be associated with scandal, because you have a family, you have your children. You know that you don't want anything to leak that you have done this. The men don't even bother. They don't even care. Whatever they do, they know even if they are taken to the jail, after a few years they will come out. And I know there was this guy, this senator, that he won an election when he was in the prison. So what is this? But a woman will not be given that opportunity even to contest. So the southern part of Nigeria, the women are even a little bit better. I'm saying a little bit better because we have the same problem. Because when we were discussing and they are saying this is what is happening, I was like, even in the southern part of Nigeria, they said yes. So, but they are a little bit, it's all over, it's all over. But they are a little bit ahead of us in Nigeria. So this.
Let's talk a bit about the project you are currently involved in, which is looking at ways of combating corruption and trying to work with political parties, candidates, to commit themselves to new policies on anti-corruption. So what have you been doing in that regard?
Well, before the primaries, we have been engaging the political parties with the project, because we have 3 thematic areas. We have the anti-corruption, we have accountability and transparency, and we have the social inclusion. Under anti-corruption, we are looking at what do they have to offer when they are elected in terms of anti-corruption. What are those policies or what are those programs they will put in place that will help them fight corruption? And then how will they ensure accountability and transparency in governance if they are elected? And then the third one is, how do they ensure social inclusion, meaning working with the minorities in Kano, for instance, working with people living with disability, working with young people. So these are some of the vulnerable, these are some of the marginalized group. How will they work? How will they integrate them into whatever they are doing? Now, we have had series of meetings. We have done a lot of advocacy. We've been to the Emir of Kano. And it's good to note that when we went to the Emir of Kano and we settled all this and saying we are also looking at internal democracy, internal transparency, internal accountability within the political parties. And then how the political parties can also give women the chance to win the primaries, because our problem mostly is during the primaries. You know, they will be hailing women, and then they will give you position. Once you go for the primary, sometimes you don't even get 10 votes, because already they have ganged up against the women. So the Emir of Kano was really interested, and he said, can we have a separate meeting after this, because he's really interested. And then we have had advocacy visit with the INEC rec, and then we had advocacy visit with the political parties, particularly the IPAC. And they had a lot of promises for us. And so we had to go beyond, because there are some major political parties that we were not able to meet, because probably they felt they are too big to see us, I don't know. But so what we did, we tried to speak to some of them, but we were able to speak with one of the political parties. And they promised us that they will try and see women that come up, probably unopposed. And we have one. We are not sure whether it is what we said, but because they have promised, even after the 2019 election, they promised they will do that. And now they have done it. So we have about 2 or 3 women now contesting. They have done with the primaries. And so our major challenge is the primaries. Now we have gotten women. And we are ready because we have really looked at them.
What
and
seats are these women going for?
One is going for the House of Rep. One is going for the State Assembly. So if she wins, she's the first woman to go for the State Assembly. If the other one also wins, she'll be the first to go to the House of Rep. So these are we are so excited about it, and we are ready. Even if, because for us, what we're saying, if they are women, we should forget about the political party. Let's support the women. Let's have the women out there. Let's have women that knows what is bothering me. Let that woman knows what young people are going through. Let her present what is our issues and how best we think we can be supported to overcome some of those issues. Not all, some of those issues.
I will definitely wish you the best of luck in breaking that glass ceiling.
Oh, thank you.
And getting some women into elected positions from Kano. It's been a long struggle, as you know.
It has been. And honestly, we are getting support from even the political parties in Kano. Because the political party that, allow the women to win, I mean, they have done, we see it's very remarkable achievement, because it has never been done. So if they have not supported, we wouldn't have been talking about this. We'd just have been talking, it was rigged. We'll just be talking about that. But now we thank Almighty Allah that this is moving forward.
That's really good progress. But one of the things bothering me is that vote buying is increasing by the day. And as you know, in general, female candidates tend to have less money. And in any case, buying of votes and selling of votes is totally unacceptable in a democracy. Are you doing anything about that?
Yes, we have been doing this over the years. I remembered in 2019 election, there are some places that women are being given onions, not even money, onions. We had a women conference in Jigawa, and 3 women stood up to say, this is what is being given to the women. We were so shocked. And we say, for God's sake, to boil meat, if you don't have onions, just put your spices. We have ginger, so you don't have to. Why would you even bring yourself so low to collect onions? Now, the issue of vote buying, what people don't realize is, if you pay me, let's even assume you pay me 100,000, not even the 500, the 1,000, the 10,000. Let's even look at 100,000. Now, if you divide 100,000 into 12 months, and then into 4 years, how much is it? It's not up to 2 naira or 3 naira. So the money that was given is just, you spend it before you know it. Before they say Jack Robinson, you've spent it. So we've been talking to women, and someone was telling me that it's poverty. I said, even when I was growing up, we've been talking about poverty. So for God's sake, when is this poverty going to go? And for me, I kept saying, the more we are calling poverty, the more it will come. Because if you look at, if you sell your conscience to someone, he goes, he forgets who you are, and then he will come back. So all the problems that we are encountering now, most of the problems, they are being based on, we are not electing the right people. Even during primaries, people are being elected based on what the governor wants. And so it's not the mandate of the political party supporters itself. And then now you come, and then you pay people to vote for you. People voted for you, you go, and that is it. You don't even see any, sometimes I wonder, the House of Rep member in my constituency, I was asking someone, I say, who is Sima? Because I know I didn't vote for him. Because I know he cannot do it. He will not be fair to anybody. Even the men, he won't be fair to the men. So I was like, okay, what has he even done to this constituency, to this ward? People will say, you will not find one person that will tell, no, he has done this, he has done that, pop. So why do we have them there? even at the National Assembly or at the State Assembly, they are supposed to come back to their constituency and ask, what are those projects you want? What are those things you want? And then people will tell them, because they are representing people out there. They are not representing themselves. But this is one of the things that we're doing, that we need to sit up, even both the men and the women, to start asking questions. If you are out there, what do you do? What are you doing? These are our needs. We want A, B, C, D, and this is one of the projects that we're doing, the anti-corruption project. So what exactly? This is what we wanted. I was in Jigawa some years ago, and I went to see a director, then she has retired, and she was telling me, we had an appointment with her, when she wasn't there, then she called me, Halima, I know you'll be waiting, I'm really sorry, we have gone to buy goats for women. I was like, goats for women? She said, yes, but we are on our way. So when she came back, I said, Auntie, the goats, did the woman ask for the goats? She said, no, the governor felt that we should give them goats. I said, how many? She said they have distributed like 3,000. I said, okay, when are you going back for monitoring? She said, oh, we have to go. I said, of course you have to go back for monitoring. You can't just give them and you don't go back for monitoring. Okay, what is that? I said, if you give me a goat now, and I'm keeping it, anytime I don't have money, I will sell it. Or if I feel like eating meat, I've not eaten meat for a long time, I'll just say, oh yeah, cut it. When you come, I will tell you that it's about to die, and then I ask them to cut it so that we don't lose. And true, 3 months after she called, she said, Halima, how did you know that? I said, you didn't ask them what they wanted. People assume that women want this, women want that, without necessarily asking women, what do you really want? What do you want the government to do to you? Okay, if it is economic empowerment, so you will see them giving them 10,000 naira. And you are given 10,000 naira to a woman that most of the house thinks she is the one that is doing it. Now we gave her 10,000 naira. By the time she got home, probably there is no food in the house. She'll have to take that money to buy food. Her children did not pay school fees, so they need this. She will take it from. But if you sit with them, you do a research of what they really want, then you can implement it. But they assume women want money, women want this. One woman, if you sit with her, everything she needed, if she tell you what she needs, and you look at what she needs, and if you ask her, how much do you need for empowerment, she will not tell you more than 10,000 naira. But if you give her the 10,000 naira without looking out for those things that are challenging to her, then she's going to use the 10,000 naira.
Okay, we'll take, viewers, we'll take a short break. We'll be right back. Welcome back, viewers. Just before the break, Halima Ben Umar was talking about how government implements policies without thinking through the implications, without consultation with the affected persons, and that's why a lot of these policy measures fail. I now want to go back to the issue you raised. You mentioned the 2019 elections.
Yeah.
And I was an observer in that election, especially the supplementary election. There was an extremely high level of violence during the elections. What happened? Why was it so violent?
Well, I think one thing, if you know your people trust you, you don't have to bring in thugs. Because what really happened was bringing in the thugs. In Kano, we had over 1,000. People are saying 500 political thugs. They were brought into Kano. So we have a mix of not hate speech, speech that can spark up violence.
Dangerous speech.
Dangerous speech. So we had a lot of that. We have had most of that on radio stations. And then, so of course, during the supplementary, all of us were even shocked that we have the inconclusive, the supplementary election. Many people are shocked. But because we are not part of the process, and like the saying, "Shara asabani ra'ayi," because if you go to court, what you are expecting will not necessarily be the outcome of the court case. So when we had that inconclusive because of violence, now the supplementary election was more violent than the first one, because I went to a particular polling unit. And someone came out to me to say, "Hajia, we respect you a lot. Can you please leave?" I didn't argue. I said, okay. I left. Because if somebody is telling you, "We respect you, can you leave?" And if you insist to stay, if you insisted, whatever happens, you cost it. So I just left. And I know so many people that were there as observers, they had to run for their lives. So it's something that has been documented. And I've seen it in some of the major TV stations. I've seen it with my own eyes. And we have seen what, because I had to start calling people, go back home. Particularly people that I know in that area, I say, just forget the voting for your safety. Just go. Let their wish be done. But what we need to do, we need to just keep praying to Almighty Allah and report to Almighty Allah. Even though He has seen it, He knows. But let us report. Women were killed. Women were wounded. Women were. There was a woman that was stripped naked just because she voted for an opposite political party. And this is our right. Constitutionally, I have the right to elect whoever I wanted, whether he wins or he doesn't win. I have that right in the Constitution. So there is no way someone that was a political thug, that was given drugs and was given instructions on what to do, will come, and I will even change mouth with him. Leave, I leave. Because in that condition, they can do anything. And nothing is going to happen. Because I have never had the case of the woman that was stripped naked or the one that was killed. I didn't hear the case up to now. We followed it. We just have to just leave it to God. Because there's nothing we can do. If some people felt they are more powerful than us, they are not powerful. They are not even half of powerful to Almighty God. So there are certain things to say, Allah Isa. That's all you can say, because there's nothing you can do.
And then we pray for better elections next year.
Yeah, we surely do, honestly.
Okay, one of the issues, you were mentioning the problem of dangerous speech in Kano.
Yeah.
And we even have a tradition in Kano now called a group called Sojojin Baka,
yes,
who have been very active in promoting hate and dangerous speech.
Yeah.
First of all, explain to viewers, what does Sojojin Baka mean?
They are people that are being sponsored by politicians. For instance, if I have an issue with you, I can just call one of them, pay him, then pay the radio station. This is what I want you to say about Prof. And they'll go and say it. Whether it is true or not, they say it. Let me give you an example. There was a time I was, my family house is in the city, near the Emir's Palace. I was on the bridge, this bridge going to State Road. And then I had this Sojan Baka talking about, because then they were talking about whether to demolish that bridge and do another one, blah, blah. So he was there to justify why there is need to demolish that and put a new structure, a new one. So he was saying, he was even swearing to God that if you are on that bridge, your car will be shaking. The bridge is shaking. I was on the bridge. I was like, I said to my son, but which bridge was he referring to? He said, this one. I said, God. And many people believed him. And it's not true. So, and they are a group of people that they can bring positive change. if they are being utilized properly. And this is what there are some people that have been working with Sojo Jimbaka. It's also part of our project to work with them. We have been also engaging with social media influencers. And then we are also they are also part of the group that also be talking to. Because if you can have those people, and if they can forget to do the dangerous speech and the hate speech, they will be a good mobilization team. Because sometimes if they are speaking Hausa, I wonder if am I truly Bahausha, you know? The words they will be saying, you'll be saying, okay. Sometimes you even get lost when they are talking. They are so fluent in the Hausa language with the proverbs, you know, with so many things they will be saying, and you'll be like, so for them, I've even stopped listening to radio, not because I don't want to even tune to hear them. And the worst part is we have people coming in. There was a time I listened, one person from Yobe, all the way from Yobe, came. So it's not just Kanu. Other neighboring states, they are also tapping on that opportunity, you know, to disgrace or to abuse their opponents, which shouldn't be. And so I was asking, why do you allow them to come and do this? They said the Constitution gave them the right, the right of speech, right of this. I said, then, but also is the same Constitution that is protecting me from people like him. Because if someone comes and abuses me, I have the right not to be disgraced, not to be abused. So why do you allow them? So of course, to generate revenue for the media house, you know, to even generate revenue.
But explain one thing to me. I know there is a National Broadcasting Commission.
Yes.
I know they have a broadcast code that prohibits the use of inflammatory language,
yeah.
insults, and all that. How come that these things have been happening in Kano and nothing is being done to stop them?
Well, someone was telling me, but I have not confirmed. He was telling me that the one in Kano, they have tried their own, but they couldn't. And so for me, I was saying, if there is an office in Kano, that shouldn't even be an excuse, because they can sell the radio station, but it's not happening. So, and we've been trying to find out why. And someone was telling me, you know, they have the constitutional right. So then the person that is being abused, or his character is being defamated, then what are we saying? Are we saying constitutionally he doesn't have the right to be protected? So these are things that truly, I think we all need all our hands on deck, you know, to change the narratives of Sojo Jimbaka. Like I said, they are a good group to work with, but positively, not negatively. So we need all the support that we can, you know, to really work with Sojo Jimbaka, because they have to stop the hate speech, the dangerous speech, everything, and they have to begin to see the truth, because most of the things they're saying there is not true. They're just saying it because they are being paid to say it.
I know one of the organizations you run is about women in journalism.
Yeah.
So what does that organization do? Why women in journalism?
Okay, Women in Media Communication Initiative. It was established in 2000. And some of the reasons why that made us to even establish the organization is I was once the chairperson of Nigeria Association of Women Journalists. And we are getting funding, and we are doing a lot on women political participation, you know, protecting women, the rights of women, and so on and so forth. So after my tenure, or after our tenure, our team, then there was an election, and we felt they are not doing what they were supposed to do. And by then, I have gotten a job with Johns Hopkins University Center for Communication Programs. And I have this money set aside for me to work with NAWOJ in 16 states. And Kano, in particular, refused to take the fund. You know, been calling them, come and see this proposal. Let's go. We are going to validate the proposal.
You know, Kano people don't like money.
They do. They do. Everybody likes money.
So why would they refuse your money?
I don't know. I have no idea. So I said,
there's some politics behind it.
Absolutely. So I said, okay, let me set up Women in Media Communication. Initially, it was Women in Media. And so we started working. And we started getting funding. We got funding from the Packard Foundation, and then we got money from the PATFA project, and then so from there we started getting funding to do a lot of things. While I'm doing my work, I work with if there is call for proposal, I send it to the staff. Then they will look at it, they will write the proposal, they will bring it, and then I make some corrections. I send it back, and then they send it, and we get funding. And I tried as much as possible not to be part of, not to even show that women in media is our own, because I don't have conflict of interest. So I want WIM to get funding because of what it can deliver, not because of Halima is part of the team. And that is what we did, and we continued. So after about a while, I got tired because I was more or less doing 2 jobs. I'm doing my development work, and any project that is given to WIM, I also have to go and support. And so I was like, I don't think I want to continue. So I just had, I backed out a little bit, and then I later also said, I have to just continue. So when the project I was working in finishes, I said, okay, let me go back to my organization. And so as soon as I went back, and some of the donor partners realized I'm back to the organization, so we started getting funding, and we started doing things. So why we set up WIM, honestly, one is to give a voice to women, is to create awareness on in self their reproductive health, their reproductive rights, the right to make a choice, the right to do this, to inform decision about their rights, and also other social issues, to know about social issues. So we're even using body tools as a communication thing. If you're pregnant, we give a sign. You know how to hold your baby. If you're doing immunization, we're all given that, and we do a lot of community engagement so that women are aware of their health rights. Women are aware of their rights to vote and be voted for, their rights to vote for a candidate of their choice, not the candidate of anybody's choice, not even the candidate of their husband's choice. Because for several elections, we are too different with my husband. So we'll just be debating, and even my children.
Are you not provoking a husband-wife?
No, we are not, because there is this understanding that it is my right to vote for who I wanted to. In the last election, 2019 election, in my house, there are 3 political parties in my house. And I join anyone that is doing their own drama. I join them. But up till now, nobody knew who I voted for, because they are all my children, so I cannot say, okay, I'm with this, I'm with that. So I will just join them. Those who are...
Wise mother.
Yeah, because once you show, they will feel... So whoever is doing their drama, I join them. We dance, we do whatever it is, and then after the election, they ask, Mom, who did you voted for? I said, did I ask you who you voted for? But no, but you know who I voted for? I said, no, my own is a secret ballot. And that is why it is a secret ballot, nobody knew. And up till today, nobody knew who I voted for. And I'm going to do the same, because for a very long time, I don't vote for a political party. I vote for a candidate, because I strongly felt it's about the candidate, not about the political party. So whoever I felt and I read, because if you're vying for any political post, and if it is in my constituency, I check out and see. I will just check. If I don't see it, I start to ask people, Allah, do you know this guy? Blah, 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 blah. So if I like his ideals, his record and what he can deliver. In most cases, they don't even win the election. Very few in 2019, 2011. It's just the president that consistently I was voting for him, even when he was not winning. I still kept voting. So he's the only person consistently since 2003 that I've been voting for. So, but others, I vote for not the political party. Someone's telling me that I'm doing, what do they call it? When you are one political party, but I say, me, I'm not a politician, so I have the right to vote for whoever I felt can represent me, particularly in Kano. So I want to vote for someone that I know that person can represent. not to represent himself and his children.
Okay, we have 3 more minutes before the program ends. I want you to tell us what needs to happen to make sure the 2023 elections is successful, especially in Kano, given the context that we have spoken about.
One, we need to really adhere to the Electoral Act. 2, we need to resist vote buying. 3, we need to be our own security, not waiting for government to bring security. Because if we can gang up in the sense that we protect the election, not allowing thugs to come and disrupt. We have the security people, and then we have our reinforcement, meaning that community, because we cannot be waiting for government to do it. There are certain things community can do themselves without holding. There is a saying that so there is a saying that you fight, but you don't have any, don't have weapon, but you do it. So this is something that I'm expecting. And I've been talking to people, and people are saying what happened in 2019, they will not allow it to happen 2023. And we're hoping that it will not happen, because I'm really worried about the 2023 election in Kano, to be very honest. I am worried.
Thank you very much, Halima Ben Umar. You've been fascinating in your conversations about the importance of resisting the marginalization of women, especially in northern Nigeria, but not just stopping there, but struggling hard to get women into elective political positions. I'm very glad that after decades of struggle, you are beginning to see success as a number of credible women have won their primaries in Kano, and you have been very active in supporting them to the primaries and will continue to support them to the elections. I wish you the very best of luck. It's been fascinating discussing with you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Hajia.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.